So I wanted to do a quick video tonight to talk about the three key concepts or characteristics of object-oriented programming. So one of the things I learned, or I first started to learn when I first started doing object-oriented programming about 20 years ago, was that there's certain features that are in object-oriented languages that are unique to object-oriented languages. And so one of the first, I think, popular programming languages that was object-oriented was Java. There were some others before, like Smalltalk, and C++ is technically object-oriented. But the key concepts, the important concepts, are available in Java. And then not too long after that, those same features and stuff were made part of .NET with C# and VB.NET. And so for tonight, I'm going to show the example of these three characteristics using C#. So let me start by saying that those three characteristics are going to be encapsulation. Sometimes people use abstraction, which is really, if you think about it, very similar to encapsulation. The other characteristic is going to be inheritance, and then the third characteristic is going to be polymorphism. So let's take a quick example here and see what this actually looks like. So I have a .NET application I just scaffolded, and in this application I have 4 classes, and this first class here I've just called animal. And one of the things you'll notice here that's interesting is that I have these private fields, these private variables for this, and I've started them off with an underscore. This is a very common convention. If you're making or you're creating a variable that's only going to be used, let's say, inside of your class, starting with an underscore is a common way. But I have these private modifiers in front of these variables. So if I were to try to access this outside of this class, let's say I come here, I have this animal object that I've just created. And if I come over here and I say animal, or animal, and underscore legs, you see I have this little curly brace here. It's not going to let me do that because it's a private variable. And so what I've done instead is, if you take a look at that animal class, we can see here that I also have these properties that I've said that I have public access modifiers. So this is an example of encapsulation, right? So where there's details about this object, they're not important to the outside consumer of this object. They're only important to whoever created this class to begin with. So that's one of the 3 tenets. Another tenet is this idea of inheritance. And so one of the things that you can do once you've created a class, say I have this other class here, and what I'm doing here is I'm actually inheriting from the animal class. So all of the properties and methods that were available in the animal class are also available inside of this lion class. So if I come over here and let's say I wanted to create a lion class here, I can say, let's say lion is equal to new lion. And if I wanted to, I can come over here to the legs. If I wanted to, I could give that lion 6 legs. It wouldn't look like a lion, but I could give it 6. I could give it 6 legs here if I wanted to. And then this is an example of where I've been able to essentially. I didn't have to go in here and create a legs property. I got it automatically and inherited it from the previous class. So that's the second tenet of object-oriented languages. And then the last one, if I come over here and let's say I want to create a cat variable, one of the things I did with this class is I have a method here that I created called speak. I also have one that I created here for lion. So if I were to try to make the lion speak, it's going to say roar. And if I try to make the cat speak, it's going to say meow. Now, the reason why I'm able to do this is my cat, I'm actually inheriting from the lion, but I don't want to get the default behavior of the speak method from the lion class. I want, since this is a cat, I want it to say meow. So the way I'm doing that is I'm actually using this override keyword. And in the parent class here, I've made this a virtual method. So what I've done is I've told .NET, the compiler, C# that this method here, if I want to, I can override the value or basically the behavior of this method, and then use the behavior that the class that's inheriting from this. So this last part, that's actually polymorphism, the ability to change an existing method or the default behavior of an inherited class. That's the third tenet of object-oriented programming. So if you like this content, please subscribe to this channel. And if you want to see more content like this, please give me a thumbs up. It helps the algorithm. And I'll be doing a whole series of videos based off of these types of questions that might come up in a job interview. Have a nice day.